We are expecting, of course, the decision, the cut, that is pretty much fully priced by these markets. Not guaranteed, but it seems to be consensus at this point. But also the forecasts around growth and inflation. What are you looking for?
You're absolutely right, Tom. And yeah, no one told them in Frankfurt that the weather's changed. It's time to change direction and cut rates. The ECB cut today, well telegraphed, fully priced by markets and almost unanimously expected by economists. Even some of the more hawkish members of the Governing Council, the likes of Isabel Schnabel and Joachim Nagel, accepting that it's time to cut today. But that level of commitment has raised some eyebrows in recent days because of the latest economic data. Inflation sticky, wage growth rapid, and therefore the focus today very much on the path beyond June. How many cuts do we get this year? You mentioned the forecasts. If you see an upward revision to inflation in 2026, that would suggest that the bar is high for cuts. We'll also, of course, be listening to the press conference with Christine Lagarde for clues on the cadence of cuts here on out. Do they come quarterly, or do we get a pause and a return to data dependence? You're going to have some strong signals from Christine Lagarde today, perhaps, to get sustainable weakness in euro-dollar, Tom.
Yeah, and you talk about the stickiness of inflation, and you rightly highlight the wage growth as well, which raises the question, as the ECB looks to break the mould and go ahead of the Fed for the first time ever, as to whether or not the situation really is that different between the Eurozone on the inflation front and the US.
Yeah, of course, the starting points were very different. For the US, it was that massive fiscal boost. For the euro area, it was the energy crisis following the invasion of Ukraine. But at this point, parallels are being drawn because you've got sticky inflation on both sides of the pond, and policy easing now could be cast as policy errors later. So you've had warnings off the back of that economic data from the likes of Schnabel and Nagel, ruling out essentially a July cut. Holtzman saying that he only sees 2 cuts for the rest of 2024. It could be, Tom, that we see less divergence between the Federal Reserve and the ECB than what it looked like when I was last stood here in April.